time for the ride home in ENC.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
This is your 5 o'clock drive with Patrick Johnson.
Holy mackerel!
More news, more interviews, more ECU stories than you can shake a stick at. Hey, stop shaking that stick. This is the Patrick Johnson Show.
Pirates win! Pirates win!
On 94.3 The Game.
Welcome. Nice to be with you here. I'm on the IGO set. Oh, my God. It's not every day you get to be in, like, a place where greatness manifests itself. Beats the studio down the hall, too, which is like where, again, Osama bin Laden used to shoot those videos on VHS back in the day. He may have actually shot him here, Pilk.
He may have. Is it the same thing you texted the other day when we were talking about being when it was me, you, Kaplan, and Schwartz texting about how you guys were all hanging out at Reynolds this weekend, and I was
no
in the back.
Yeah, no, that I was talking about the one studio. Actually, the studio that really used to look like a giant OSHA violation was the old studio by Row High that was over by the railroad tracks. That was a giant OSHA violation. Which, by the way, I think our good friend Dr. No has cleaned up. And I got to give Dr. No credit. He has fixed my earpiece with a cable. So of all the grief I give Dr. No, Pilk, I'm very happy that Dr. No has got the earpiece going the right way.
Yeah, I like to do that too. You know, every now and again, we do rag on him all the time. So when he deserves the applause, you know.
I don't mind giving him his laurels when he deserves it. Slings and arrows, though, when he does not.
Hey, at least we're all in the same boat. You do it, I do it, Henry does it, you know.
Sure. Well, but there's a difference. He's the heavy for Henry. That's the difference.
Yeah.
All right. Enough inside baseball. Welcome to the program. Quite a weekend of sports. We're in the crossover season. We're in the end of the Major League Baseball and NASCAR season. We are in a run here where the Pirates control their own fate on the gridiron, and ECU basketball plays tonight and will play for the women and play tomorrow for the men. So let's give you a couple of programming notes before we get into our top five, and then Jim Szoke a little bit later on. And we're in the studio today because we did Inside Pirate Athletics today at 12:30 from Tiebreakers. Had a great crowd out there. Had a lot of folks that usually maybe aren't there that came in. It wasn't maybe as packed as it normally is, but it was a crowd that was in there for lunch, and it was kind of a Talk of the Town crowd. Fans of Talk of the Town were showing up and showing out today, including friend of the show Joe Albee was in the house. He won a prize. He won a raffle prize. Love me some Joe Albee.
I got a question. Every time there's Talk of the Town fans in there, they always like to They always get on you and Henry for making Michael the punching bag. Did you have anybody say, "Hey, you were too hard on Michael this week"?
No, nobody's doing that.
Because people come up to me at remotes and they're like, "Why does Michael let them push him around?" And Michael goes, "Well, it's part of the show."
There was a gentleman from Snow Hill. There was a couple gentlemen there, and there were some people that I know, obviously, but usually those people maybe aren't making it out to. But these were all TOTP1s. So that was very cool. Anyway, top of the hour on 94.3 The Game. The program will re-air. It'll also be fed across the ECU Sports Network. Tomorrow, we will have coverage from Williams Arena Minges Coliseum at 5 as ECU takes on Georgia Southern. We are currently working on confirming a few things ahead of the telecast tomorrow and the broadcast. We are going to have Justin Bear, fan engagement, ECU sports marketing with us. And you know what else we're going to have, Pilk, tomorrow at 6 o'clock?
Dun, dun, dun. I do know. Can I say it? Or I'll do the drum roll. I can't do a drum roll. I'm very bad. That's why I didn't make the movie Christmas Vacation, because I couldn't stand out in the yard and do the...
Could do the drum roll.
There we go. That was
there.
Better.
You go. That sounded more like lips. Sounded more like a buzzer. A drum roll, or like like if you shook somebody's hand and they had the gag buzzer. That's what that more sounded like.
Yeah.
The Chancellor of ECU, Dr. Philip Rogers, will be our guest tomorrow at 6. So I'm looking forward to having him on tomorrow on the program. So usually I will probably wrap up a little early for when we do these on-location hoop shows. But tomorrow I'll hang in there a little bit longer because we want to have our sort of annual conversation that we have. We usually had it on the pregame show, but since Pilk and Igo and Joey Football are the primaries on that this year, we worked it out to get the Chancellor on with me on the big show. So that's exciting. That's going to be exciting stuff there. So looking forward to that tomorrow. He's a big basketball fan.
Oh, he's from North Carolina, man. College basketball. That's why this morning is Christmas Day, Patrick.
It is.
It's Christmas Day. Since 8 a.m., we've been watching college basketball.
Now, there's been some of that overseas, right? At least with the women. I think the Duke women were overseas.
I think so, yeah.
So there's been all kinds of stuff. Could you imagine playing at 8 in the morning? All right. So anyway, 5 o'clock tomorrow, 6:30 airtime on the ECU Sports Network. That includes 94.3 The Game and 107.9. Darren Vaught is back for another season behind the radio mic. And we, of course, will have the game for you on ESPN Plus, myself and Jay Sunholder. They have announced the time for the Memphis game. That is a 4 o'clock kick. I think
the U.
It's on the ESPNU, yes. And I think that's a great start time for the last home game of the year for the Pirates. I'm excited about that, Pilk. How are you feeling about it? 4 o'clock.
Enough time to tailgate, but not so much where you're freezing your ass off from kickoff. You're just freezing your ass off the second half of the game. So you're good. It'll
be great. We also have the game this week, noon. The pregame begins, right?
Yeah, is the kickoff at 3? I think the kickoff's at 3.
Kickoff at 3, 3:05, and it'll be a noon or 3:02, one of the two. But it'll be a noon beginning on 94.3 The Game with our Pirate Game Day Countdown from outside of the Town Bank Tower with Philip the Ref Pilkington and Stephen Igo. And then 2 o'clock on the ECU Sports Network. All right. Let's do the top 5, Pilk. Anything that I missed as far... we have playoff football, too, on Friday. Rose is in the playoffs, as is Havelock. I'm not sure where they're going to put Havelock yet, because I think there's a Carolina basketball game. Edenton gets a bye in that convoluted 1A mess, or whatever it is. I mean, that's... Like, you get a bye early, and if you make it to the finals, you get a bye the week where everybody else is playing in the regional final. With the 1A and the 8A. I know.
They should have not. 8 was too many.
No, what they should have done, or what they should do, is just play the 1A and the 8A the week before on the replay of that Saturday somewhere. That's what they should do.
Yeah, they should do that. But we're not a big enough state to go all the way to 8. I think we got to go 1 through 6.
I don't think there's a lot of states that are at 8, but.
I mean, like Texas and Florida are, but they've got, they got double our population.
I don't know. Couldn't tell you. What's California? Isn't it only like 8?
It might only get a 6. It could go. Yeah, I think it goes to 8.
I think it does go to 8. I mean, that's California.
Yeah, 55 electoral votes supposed to. What do we have? 13 or 14? Whatever. 15.
Maybe up to 16 now. Speaking of which, it is Election Day tomorrow. So get out and vote. Exercise your right. Municipal elections here in Greenville. The Goodyear blimp is in town, Pilk. Did you know that?
If there weren't people driving the blimp, I might shoot down the blimp because Goodyear brought the worst tires ever to the championship race, and nobody could keep their car. It could drive it without blowing a tire, and it just made it terrible. And it was entertaining because, guys you thought were out of it would come back and be in it, but Goodyear did a terrible job at their tires. So, do better at your job, Goodyear. I'd go on and on, but we're short on time.
No, we're fine. And the other part of this is, Pilk, with this particular city council, they may try to find the Goodyear blimp because it's in the sky. That might be what happens. Like they did the flag at
at Camping World.
At Camping World, Marcus Lemonis. They may try to find the Goodyear blimp, which I think is out at the airport. All right, let's do the top 5.
This may very well be our last mission. Let's make it count.
This is the Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
It's impossible.
Now some stories you may have heard.
You ready?
Or catch it for the first time. This is your 5 at 5 with the P-Man.
I have not previewed what these are because I've been so bloomin' busy today. But that's fine. That's part of the fun of it.
Number 1.
All righty, number one.
Who do we have in today, by the way?
DeMarco.
Intern DeMarco. Has DeMarco grown since I've seen? He looks so tall.
He was this tall when he walked in.
He looks like, again, two things. He could be like a heel in red. Now, you'd have to heal him up a little.
Yeah, he's too nice of a guy to be a heel, but he looks like a guy to be a heel.
But he also kind of looks like a cartoon character in a lot of ways. He has that look about him, like a springy.
He likes it. He's
character.
giving you the thumbs up.
Yeah, I see that. All right, number one.
All righty, number one. Pirates, big victors, 45-14, despite having not played a game in 16 days. Coach Harrell said he was never worried about his team being rusty.
I wasn't worried about that. I knew our young men were eager to get back out there and get back on between the lines and play a football game. And you could see it in their preparation, the way they go about their business, the way they practice every single day. And they were just excited to get back to work. Almost a half a month off of football. And they're ready to make a run here in November. And I think today was a good start of it.
You know, I think in every aspect of the game, at least offensively for sure, and even defensively, they could have had some more turnovers. I thought East Carolina was outstanding the other day. I thought they were obviously able to run the ball against Temple, prevented Temple from running the ball. Temple will run first, pass second kind of thing. And I think the Pirates feel like they need to get there. And if they can get those type of performances, even though the freshman had the fumble and you got a touchdown on the ground for Gunn, London Montgomery. I mean, you're not overworking London Montgomery or really any of those backs right now. And if you can, piece all of those players together, and that's how they go about things, and that leads you to getting that amount of yards. I mean, even half of that Pilk would be very representative on the ground.
Yeah, I'd take it. What would that be? How many they run for? One, or it's like
358.
358. So yeah,
so let's say you ran for 170. I mean, that's representative. Yeah. You can get 175 to 200 yards. That's a great day.
I'll take that.
And I think if they do that, especially with what they've got now, here's what I say about Saturday, Pilk. Burn the boats, baby. Just fire the cannons. Go. Don't let up. Don't let up. Rumor has it there are 2 countdown clocks, and one of them might be addressing a certain team, the countdown to a certain team, and it may have been running for a while.
Oh,
rumor has it.
There you go.
They can't score enough points Saturday, as far as I'm concerned.
I agree. They score 100. They score 100.
If they score 100, they score 100. If they challenge the 212 scored by Georgia Tech against the North Pitt JVs back in
Cumberland College,
back in the 1500s, I'm fine with
19
that.
teens.
Was that when it was?
Yep. Yeah, the coach was
Only
Georgia
you
Tech.
would know that. Who was it? Hap Happerson?
I'll give you a hint. There's a famous trophy named after him.
Oh, was it Bobby Dodd?
More famous trophy than that.
Heisman?
Yeah. John Heisman.
Stuart Heisman.
John Heisman.
Mark Heisman.
Yeah, that too. Desmond Howard Heisman. Oh, wait, he didn't win it.
I always think of the Heisman. I think of perhaps Peyton Manning was good at the ESPYs, but the Norm Macdonald joke about Charlie, what's his name, winning the Heisman.
Yeah, never played in the NFL.
Right, but they'll never, Charlie, was it Woodson? Yeah, Charles Woodson. And they'll never take this away. They'll never take that award away from you unless you kill your wife in a waiter, then all bets are off.
Yeah.
God, that was a great, that crowd, Norm Macdonald, hilarious. God rest his soul. Number 2.
Number 2.
Rest of ECU athletics. It's a busy week. Women's basketball starts tonight, top of the hour against UNCW. So come on out to that. Also, soccer in action in the conference tournament night at 7:30 against Memphis. All conference honors were handed out. So Caitlin Starr, Dolan Boudrum, and Isabella Gutierrez both earned second team all conference honors.
Good for her.
And Gia Spinetti was a first team all freshman.
Oh, that's great. Who did they beat last year to go to the NCAA's, Pilk?
Was it the Tigers?
It was the Memphis Tigers. It would be great if they could continue their conference tournament win streak. by last beating the Tigers and next beating the Tigers. We will see. And good luck to Coach Kim's group tonight. I think they're going to, it's like everything, they're going to be guard heavy. And I think the issue with really both basketball teams is who's going to be your consistent scorer. But that always seems like that's the story of the Kim McNeil teams.
Yeah, and it really has, especially since
consistently score. Yeah, since Danae McNeil, there's been years when Danae was hurt. I mean, there's just no who's your consistent scorer, who's your consistent person to get you a bucket. So there you go. All right, next.
Number three.
All righty, the Carolina Panthers improved to 5-4. Baby. It has happened.
Did you pull the audio from the...
Yeah, that's what we're about to play.
Oh, I love this.
Yep. All right, here's Jason.
Set up the clip, Pilk.
All right, so just heads up, this is Jonathan Stewart filming himself on, Twitter as Ryan Fitzgerald is lining up for the game-winning field goal in the wind in Lambeau.
At Lambeau.
What are we doing?
Kick is down, the kick is up, into the wind.
Let's go! Let's go, Rook! Let's go, Rook! Let's go, Rook! Yeah, Rico! Hit him with that Rico!
How great was that? That was better than the kick.
I know. I love Jay Stu, man. He used to make all these funny videos in the locker room, and I remember when we beat the there's a video I have on my phone when we beat the Cardinals and to go to the Super Bowl, and he's walking around after the game. I said, "Yo, what's up, my boy Jay Stu?" And he looks up at me, he's like, "Hey!" Like he's such a fun, loving personality, man. I miss that guy.
I know they like to have Kuechly and the quarterback on the radio.
DeLome.
Yeah, Jake Delhomme.
Well, they got another color commentator too. You gonna give him a shout out, or do we just not care about that?
No. Szoke for sure. But I'm saying I know they like to have, but I would find a way to put that guy on my broadcast somehow. I don't know if he would be good in the game, but put him on the pregame or put him with Szoke in the halftime or postgame.
I'm with you, man.
I mean, he was fantastic.
He was
great.
He is, man. He was always good with the media, man. He was fun. Like I said, he's got this happy-go-lucky personality. He's a guy I wish I could have spent some time with when he was in Charlotte. I've never actually met him, but I've heard great things.
You gave him a shout-out. All right, what do we got?
4-4-4.
All righty, number 4. The Dodgers have won 3 of the last 6 World Series. It probably was one of the greatest 7-game series ever played.
Yeah, it may have been.
And the Dodgers cap it off.
I know you don't like that. Our buddy, friend of the show, Brian Mull, very, very excited, as you can imagine. I was getting texting both Jake Jacobs, who I think called this thing would go 7, did he not?
He did, on this show.
On this show Friday. And Mike Mullis, and I saw Mully and had a brief lunch with Mully today at Tiebreakers. Man, but Mike Mullis, and Mully's so smart. He really is. He pointed out something very, 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 that was very bright, I thought. And, everybody's going to say Hoffman giving up the home run, this, that, or the other, right?
Yeah.
The bases were loaded, right? Pilt 1 out. Bottom of the 9th. There was in Mully's opinion, base running snafu for that Toronto runner at third. Not getting enough of the lead because the guy was nowhere near the bag, the third baseman for the Dodgers. And it's almost like he didn't run on contact, but he also didn't take the type of lead that as soon as there is contact, you just go. I mean, you don't wait to see what happens. You go.
Because you're a force. It'd be different if there was nobody on first or nobody on second. You're a force.
It's now or never. So it's Mully's contention, and I tend to agree with him as you think through it. It was actually the base running error that, in the end, is the big costly play for Toronto on that one.
Yeah, because the base running error is your mistake, right? Like, was the pitch, did it catch too much white? Sure. But the guy still got to hit it out. Just because you threw it too much over the white.
The guy had not hit it out, hit one out in 2 months.
It was like September the 16th or something like that.
I don't even think it was that. I think it was earlier. Okay. But, I mean, it had just been Labor Day. We had just put away the white pants. the last time that dude hit a home run. Great series, though.
I know.
I hate it for Trey Savage. I really hate it for Hoffman. Rumor has it on Hall of Fame weekend with Shane Carden and Justin Hardy and the great Terry Holland to be enshrined. Who's the other Pirate player?
Shane Carden. Oh, you already said that. Justin Hardy and Dwayne Harris.
Dwayne Harris played a long time in the NFL. Raiders, Cowboys. With Dwayne Harris, with all of them, and supposedly it will be a Trey Day Saturday. Rumor has it. Trey
That'd be
Savage
awesome. I'd
will
love
be.
to see Trey. I haven't seen Trey since like a week before spring training. Last time I talked.
Saw him on television, didn't
Well,
you?
yeah.
I know what you're saying. But you still, you make a great point. You still got to hit it. You still got to, and the Dodgers could have folded the tent very easily, but it just wasn't in their deal. I'm anxious to see where Toronto will go because they were trying to become the worst to first or worst to World Series deal, which I think the last time that happened was your Red Sox.
Yep, 2013,
and maybe happened with the Twins when they beat the Braves in the early 90s. So, I mean, that's very rare. But, I mean, you go back a year ago, and coming into the season, it almost was like, okay, this Toronto situation may get blown up.
Well, because last year going into the season, they were supposed to be good,
Correct.
and then they were worse.
They were last.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be interesting to see what happens this year. Because, I mean, you go from a situation where your job's probably on the line if you're in management there, and in the field in the coaching end of things. So, all right, what do we got?
5.
Sticking with championships, Kyle Larson wins his second Cup Series title, first since 2021, outdueling Denny Hamlin, Chase Briscoe, and William Byron.
How'd your boy do?
Pretty damn good till he cut a tire with 3 laps to go and hit the wall and finished 33rd. He was in second when he cut the tire.
I got you.
But he took one for the team because that won Larson the championship. Hamlin would have won it otherwise. So
I got you.
It takes a lot for me to feel bad for Denny Hamlin. I'm not a Denny fan, but
I thought Denny Hamlin was considered likable.
He used to be, and then he kind of turned like full heel during COVID, and now people can't stand him.
Interesting.
And it takes a lot for me to feel bad for the guy, but 60 career wins, never won championship, has 5 seconds on the field with 3 laps to go. His father is dying pretty much, and they kept reporting on that during the broadcast, and then Willie B cuts the tire, caution comes out, and Cliff Daniels makes the right call on top of the 5 pit box, and Larson wins his second title. And even Larson went out of his way to say that he felt bad for Denny for the way it happened.
Yeah. Congratulations to the J.H. Rose volleyball team. They won the 6A championship. They were down 2 sets and reverse sweeped Watauga. Man, what a team they have. Outstanding. And I've gotten some correspondence from 2 guys we know very well, Pilk, who had daughters on that team. Andrew Bays, his daughter Caroline, and T.J. Long's youngest daughter, who I didn't even know existed for a long time. I just thought he had 2 kids for a while.
Anytime you got 3, there's like one who's always like really quiet and you never know they exist.
But Madison, who is very much like her dad, very fiery and competitive, was on that roster. A lot of other great players, too. And then Aiden Grifton won the 3A, and they swept 3 sets. They did not allow the opposition in the playoffs to win a set.
Wow.
They just raced through it.
That's like Nadal at the French Open-esque right there.
It really is. So congratulations to the local teams. Congrats to Conley on getting there. They fell short on Friday. And always good to have championship. I saw from a distance the great legendary Ronald Vincent.
RV, our guy.
He was in the house. He was in Reynolds Coliseum. He might be older than Reynolds. And then I saw the great Paul Cornwell as well. Greg Steele, better known as Drew's dad.
Is that just what people call him around town now? Has Drew surpassed Greg in fame?
No. Greg Steele's pretty famous. So, good man, good folks. All right, let's hit a break. When we come back, You know who has the same record right now in the NFL, Pilk?
The Chiefs.
And?
Panthers. Ow.
Who you got making the postseason? We'll talk about the Pirates over Temple and get ready for Charlotte and ECU, and we'll talk with Jim Szoke for the Panthers Radio Network. We got Panther Talk coming your way tonight at 7 here on 94.3 The Game.
Is working overtime to help ensure that Eastern North Carolinians like you get the health insurance help you need this open enrollment period. New legislation passed meaning more people than ever qualify for affordable coverage. Let us help you today.
The best burgers around. Everyone loves a thick, juicy, and fresh burger. Tiebreakers in Greenville, plus the all-new Tiebreakers in Winterville. Do real burgers better than anybody. So don't just go to any burger-themed restaurant chain. It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers, real burgers at its best.
Everybody loves burgers.
Big tax credits are back. Get a 30% tax credit, up to $2,000 off your new Mitsubishi electric heat pump install. Let Comfort Master help you take advantage of the tax credits with a qualifying Mitsubishi electric ducted heat pump or non-ducted Mitsubishi electric mini splits. Mitsubishi electric mini splits are ideal for bonus rooms, garages, or sunrooms. If you need a new HVAC unit, call Comfort Master today.
Call Comfort Master. Call Comfort Master.
You know what the problem is with standard belts? Usually you have to choose between too tight or the opposite, too loose. But with Anson Belt and Buckle, you don't have to choose. We got rid of the holes and instead have a track system designed for micro adjustability. That way you can enjoy a perfect fit every time. Anson Belt and Buckle. Find your perfect fit today.
Healthwise Pharmacy rounds the bases with all of your infusion, retail, compounding, and medical equipment needs. Locally owned and operated by pharmacist Marcy Parker, Healthwise has grown to be your most trusted provider for infusion services. Currently providing in-home or on-site infusions in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. Visit Healthwise Pharmacy at 615B South Memorial Drive or call 252-295-0059 to speak to a patient service representative to find the option that best suits your needs.
In this age of globalization, we've learned that bigger isn't always better. Ever tried to get phone help from a big corporation from a real person? Right. That's what's so nice about Phelps Chevrolet. After more than 50 years serving our community, Phelps remains family-owned and operated. Mike, Daryl, Wave, West, Alan, and Clay deliver hometown service and integrity, same as always. They share your experience, they share your values, and they are ready to help with any motoring need. Come get you one.
Tired of the 1-800 numbers advertising Medicare products? Flatlands Jessup has 6 offices all throughout Eastern North Carolina. Get face-to-face help from our local award-winning licensed team. Stop by today. Flatlands Jessup, your whole world covered.
Back to the Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
Welcome back. We got a jam-packed show, so let's get started.
Deep breath. Here we go.
All right. Schizophrenic Carolina Panthers get a win in Green Bay. And the Pirates, man, did they look good. Jim Szoke on hand for both big broadcasts over the weekend. He joins us here on the Patrick Johnson Show. Quite a letdown. But here he is, nonetheless. Hello, Jim.
For me or for you?
Jim said, so I know I send Pilk and Jim these memes, as the kids call them. And there's the great one going around of we've all seen it, with Tiger and Pilk, help me here.
John Daly.
And Daly's, sucking on a lung dart, and Tiger's, everything's perfectly pressed. And, people throw things on there, like one of my favorites was people from the Triangle trying to go to the beach. Tiger, city of Kinston, John Daly smoking. And as a Kinstonian, I can say that. That was a great one from the summer. But, there's also the one where you got the Chiefs, Tiger, and the Panthers, John Daly. And Jim's just funny when you send him these text messages. He's always got a great, witty one-liner, which is why we love Jim. So
I try.
That was funny. Pilk is too. You ever notice Jim Pilk's too cool for our little quasi group chat? You ever notice that?
I was in a press conference when you sent it, and then I had to rush over here and do another show. And then by the time I got done with that show, you were here.
Jimmy's very busy. I don't know if you know that. Very busy. Philip Pilkington, very busy.
I responded last week.
Very busy.
Yeah, Philip and I take turns responding, so as long as one of the two of us, we feel like we're covered as a group.
Right, to make me feel better. Thank you both.
So what I said was, John Daly also capable of shooting a 19 on the next hole. He famously shot a 19 about 3 months ago, which was the Buffalo game for the Panthers. So I've seen this before, Patrick.
I know you have. Man, I mean, it's like a what? But I mean, really, it is a week-to-week proposition right now with Carolina, is it not?
Yeah, are we not the most week-to-week team? Like, we're the epitome of that phrase in the NFL. Like we win 3 in a row after wait. We get blown out by New England by 1,000 points. We win 3 in a row, and then we get blown out again by Buffalo at home. It looks like we'll never win a game again. And then we go to would you not agree? Probably the toughest place this year to go, based on how Green Bay was playing, and to go to Lambeau. 5-1-1, they win 3 in a row, and of course we win. So it's just like this is why I know you guys do the odds and all that stuff. I don't ever do the FanDuel or the DraftKings stuff. Sorry if that's stuff sponsored. I shouldn't say the wrong one, but I don't do it because I'm not. Even though I watch these games and look at it, I don't know how people know. It's amazing. I just have no idea how they know who's going to win week to week in college, pro, whatever. Yeah,
especially with the NFL this year. I mean, we just have we're week 9 and there is no. That's the team, and what's funny about. That meme is the Chiefs and the Panthers have the exact same record right now. And Carolina might have a little better shot of getting to the playoffs. Might.
Wouldn't it be funny if you did that meme all year and that ends up being the Super Bowl? That's actually Kansas City and Carolina.
Joke, Jim, quit smoking that hopium right there, because I wish. But with this gauntlet of schedule we got coming up, we ain't going nowhere in January.
Well, what were you saying before yesterday, Pilk?
That the only possible wins were the Saints, and if we get the Bucks, backups the final week, then we might beat the Bucks.
Oh,
hey,
that's
three right there. That's 3 right there. So if we did that at a minimum, that's 8.
That's
I think people would sign up to go for 8. We'll get greedy, of course, at the end, but we would have signed up for 8 and 9 at the beginning of the year. I know that.
Oh, 100%.
I absolutely. Boy, I tell you what a lot of fun, and I mean Lambeau is one of the heralded great venues. But Rico Dowdle continues to just be so impressive and so amazing. 2 touchdowns yesterday. And he, from scrimmage over the last month, has been otherworldly.
No, it's insane. And credit to the offensive line for all the injuries they have. Whoever comes in next seems to do a good job. They only had 1 sack for 0 yards, by the way, on Bryce Young. And then they did it as you watch the game. They were opening up creases along the line for Rico to get through. Then Rico does it from there. But 130 yards. He's averaging an incredible number per carry on the season. Mm-hmm. He's already like 750 yards for a guy who was barely used the first quarter of the season. And now, I mean, he's changed my thinking. I don't know. I'm sure the Panthers, the wheels got to be turning. It's like, how do you just let this guy go and just say, he's a 1-year rental? I mean, he's so good. What do you do? If a trade deadline's coming up this week, did you move something around or do you reassess? Could you keep him for a couple years with some kind of a contract? Because I hate to just let him go scot-free on the free agent market. I hate to go all Marty Herney on it, like we say, but I wouldn't go 5 years. I'd go 3 years. And if he's from the area, he's from Asheville, South Carolina, and he seems to be happy here. So I would give it a run to try to keep him and then figure it out. I know you can't always pay 2 running backs, and you might have to do something. But every time there's a contract, like Deshaun Watson or any of these huge deals, it's all this deferred money and like Shohei Ohtani, right? $2 million a year. He's got all this deferred money. There's ways of working around the cap where you can figure out a way somehow to keep a quality football player.
Yeah, one would think, right? I wouldn't
let him go.
When they made the announcement that Chuba Hubbard was not going to be sharing the workload per se, did you envision that as maybe a little bit of maybe a tell to what you're just speaking about there?
I think truly Rico has been about the best running back in the NFL. It'd be silly to go 50-50 on the carries, like the parents are sitting in the stands at a Pop Warner game and are complaining to the coach afterwards that their kids didn't get the ball. So it's pro football. You got to win. And honestly, if they hadn't done that, you probably don't win the game. If you'd still been doing the 50-50 split, you probably don't win the game yesterday. So I think it's it's the highest level of football. It's competitive, and it just is what it is. None of this is a slight on Chuba. I would also say coaches and players would never tell you. I mean, maybe Chuba's not 100%, but Rico is running at with the ferocity that we haven't seen, I don't think, ever from Chuba. But Chuba is a good back. That's why they paid him last year. But it's just there's a different level of intensity when he runs. So I think there's a place for a guy who ran for 1,200 yards last year, which is Chuba too. But maybe he's just not completely as top speed as he was, say, last year before the injury.
The great Jim Szoke, Panthers Radio Network, Panther Talk coming up at 7 o'clock. Also, the ECU Sports Network. We'll talk about the Pirates win and the matchup this week against Charlotte in just a bit. But Jim, I have to imagine, everybody's had the hoop in the driveway and you're counting down. You're going to win the Final Four, you're going to win the NBA championship, and you take the shot. Do kickers do that, I guess? And if you do you envision, I guess Lambeau would be one of the places you envision hitting the big kick, right? I'm
sure. And it was interesting because Fitzpatrick, we were noticing, we were actually talking about it during the game. There were times where there's like a timeout on the field, and, that 12-year-old Ryan Fitzgerald, I should say, but he goes out there, and he was like on the field during some of the timeouts, like he was getting a feel of the wind and the grass and all that. And then when they called that timeout before he kicks that last kick, you can see him like closing his eyes. So he's clearly envisioning what he's going to do in that moment. So even, I'm sure stuff he's done throughout his life, going back to childhood or whatever, made some big kicks at Florida State. And so I think they do. I think for him, I mean, that's great. I mean, this kid, he's hit 2 walk-off winners this year, Dallas and this one. And he had to win a kicker's battle that went down to the last preseason game, so nothing was guaranteed for him. So it's fun to see that on a team of these, especially special teams. You've got 35-year-old punter Sam Martin. You've got 39-year-old J.J. Jansen snapping ball. You've got this kid fresh out of college with that group, and it's fun to see him just come in and play really well right away.
We're visiting with the voice of the Pirates and color commentator on the Panthers Radio Network, Jim Szoke here. Jim, one more Panthers thing for you. Look, back-to-back plays, Derek Brown just draws holding calls because he decided to throw the offensive lineman like a rag doll. You know it. Yep. I know it. Panther fans know it. Is it time for the league to start talking about Derek Brown as one of the best players on defense in the league? And is it even time for Panther fans to start mentioning him in the same breath as guys named Peppers and Kuechly?
No, it's a great question. I think, for me, he's as good of an interior defensive lineman as we've ever seen for this franchise, which, it's a different thing when you look at, obviously, what the guys on the edges do, like Julius Peppers, because they get the sacks and they're more visible, seeing what they can do out there and so forth. But he's by far the best defensive interior lineman that we've ever had. We've had some really good Pro Bowl guys through the years. But to get national attention, well, if you can get Colin Cowherd to mention the Panthers, let alone Derek Brown, you'll get so.
Jim, let's not make that the hurdle to jump here, please.
You guys, I'm sure, watched the TV broadcast. I didn't watch it, but I heard there were, we always have salty fans, just like anywhere, like the Pirates do. And so forth.
Right. Yeah.
All they talked about was Green Bay losing the game and what's wrong with Green Bay, and nothing about the Panthers won the game. So that's kind of what we are. And when they do something good, it's kind of because of the fact that, Green Bay didn't play their usual game.
Well, and just last thing here on the Panthers, the great Jim Szoke with us here. Last thing, I guess, with Carolina from my standpoint is, they, 4 out of the last 5, they have cobbled together. What has been the big, just overall thing? Because, we've talked about, these different, Pilk's question about the defense and Dowdle, and what is because they've it's not like they've been 1,000% healthy by any stretch of the imagination. So what is it that's working right now for Carolina?
It's literally the 2 most mundane things that people fall asleep to the white noise hearing coaches talk about, which is run the football, and obviously we talked about that. Rico Dowdle and that line they've been running. He had, remember, a couple of weeks ago, back-to-back 200-yard games by himself. So you're running the ball, so that keeps the other team off the sidelines while you're scoring points, racking up yards. And then defensively, we were the last-ranked team in defense last year. Mm-hmm. Philip mentioned Derek Brown, and that was the number one reason why. And I think this offseason they did a good job of bringing in some draft picks and free agents that, again, there's not a bunch of guys going to the Pro Bowl, but he got some decent, solid NFL players out there around him. And I think that's it. The 1 week we didn't was Buffalo. James Cook last week when he ran for 200 yards.
Yeah.
The 3-game winning streak yesterday, they kept it all kind of in front of them. No big plays were allowed, that kind of stuff. So just solid, run the ball, mostly stop the run, and really didn't give up much in the pass game yesterday either for what Jordan Love usually does. So that's just being competitive on defense, keeping it reasonable. And, man, if you can run the ball, that opens up the whole playbook when you can get 7 yards on first down, things like that.
Pirates looked really fantastic, especially after a 16-day layoff. Temple, you could argue, maybe is the team that sort of had overachieved and could have been undefeated, is what you could argue in the conference going into Saturday. The way that ECU has been committed to the run at times this year, much like probably you guys, I've been thinking to myself, let's just throw the ball. But they've stayed committed to the run, and that kind of paid dividends against a team that it wasn't exactly, teams weren't exactly running over them coming into Saturday. So great to, I think they have found something, Jim, with London Montgomery and the freshman Engelman, even though he had the fumble, and obviously with Marlon Gunn and what he can provide for you with sort of the Thunder. So if you could get somewhere in that number that those guys produce for you, boy, you really put yourself to have a special November in place.
No doubt, you're right, and you get ready to be bored again. Offensive line, I mean, it's just like. Yeah. It's amazing because the names keep changing. You had the preseason injury with the center, so you didn't have the center that you brought in. And so you've just been kind of shuffling pieces since then, and they come and go, and no Bryce Weaver, and you think this guy's ready, and then he's not ready. We'll make him a backup, and we'll move this guy from tackle to guard, and they've just really done collectively a great job of just piecing together a solid, again, offensive line, because none of that happens without run blocking and pass blocking out there, and they have really done a really good job with what they've got. And I don't think anybody in that line is going to be playing on Sundays in the NFL. So I think they're really doing a great job just collectively as a unit out there. But you're right, the running game, like all the guys you mentioned, all ran for big yardage. Heck, we've got our fourth string running back now with Ryan Roseborough ready to go.
There you go.
We need him out there, big man football. And I'm like you, like a lot of times, like run. It's like, what if we just threw it over the top to Anthony Smith again? And that always works, and you could. and that's the brilliance of it. It's like, you got Yannick, and in most games, it was not a big day for Brock Spalding, but there's been games where he's been the number one guy. So, yeah, there's a lot of really cool weapons in the lineup, and I think John David Baker's been really, every week, showing different looks. Like the end around was big in this game with getting those guys out there. Obviously, Smith with a 45-yard touchdown.
Sure.
So, a lot of creativity and not being so predictable. But what was that? That one drive we ran it like 11 times in a row or whatever. Collectively, we ran it 11 straight times on 2 drives. It's just like, you can do that. I mean, it makes the game go by quick. You control everything. And Evan Simon, certainly the defense, again, Josh Aldridge in that group on that side, to hold Evan Simon to 80 yards passing and have his first interception, could make the case he could have had a couple more. Jordy Lowry had his hand on at least 2 more. So that could have really had a huge day in that category. But they just really contained everything on the Temple side.
Yeah, right.
Little breaking news for Pirate fans here.
Yes.
That more wanted us to throw the football more. Due to Jim Szoke having to catch a flight, Jim was actually calling the plays.
Yes.
That's why he called so many run plays. He had to catch his flight so he could get to Green Bay.
And
so that's the reason for all that.
Jimmy keep saying inside zone.
And that is why Jim said, let's let the big guy run it. That's why Jim wanted to see a big man touchdown. And Roseborough, shades of JP2 running.
And I knew that particular run would take more time based on the
Yannick Smith, dazzling, and Yannick receiving honorable mention honors in the AAC this particular week. And look, as you say, with Anthony Smith, with Yannick there, and I thought the tight ends played really, really effectively, not just in being involved in the offense, but some of the other things they were and how they were utilizing them. 10 different receivers, Jim, or Pirates probably more appropriately, caught a pass in that game. So I think right now the offense, it's kind of coming from all directions. And if you're able to do that mix, it just, I don't know, this group seems really together right now and bought in on what they're trying to achieve here.
Yeah, it's like last year minus having a coaching change, where just as the season goes on, you just see it getting stronger and just catching fire as they're going right now. And now you're home for homecoming and take care of business. You hope against the Charlotte 49ers this week, and you can lock down bowl eligibility as the next goal and getting that sixth win. And then you see where it goes from there if you get the win at home this week. But, yeah, everybody getting involved is great because that's how you have your depth. I mean, you're kind of like you're winning, but you're still also kind of being developmental along the same way where it's not just the same 2-3 guys contributing. And it's fun to show up every single week and see what all Mike Wright is going to do out there. And whether he's a wildcat quarterback or he's going to be a receiver or cornerback. I mean, he's just doing everything out there.
And he's so engaging. He's such a great guy. So Charlotte coming to town, they've obviously, and I mean, they got the first-year coach. He's got a little Jim Boeheim whininess about him when it comes to the injuries. The late, great John Feinstein, he said about Boeheim once, if a hemorrhoid could talk. But
has he said anything negative about Greensboro?
I don't know. The guy may. But, they've got, it's interesting. They had the ex-Carolina guy at quarterback. He got hurt. Now they got a former Dookie there in Loftus, who I don't think is terrible. But, they are, let's just call it the way it is. They are banged up, and this is a true build it from the ground level up. The stadium construction there is ahead of that pace right now, clearly.
They, and I'm here in this area, so we saw the AD get fired.
Yeah, that did happen the other week too. Yeah,
and I think a lot of that is monetary. I think they have not done a good job, and we all hate it. I hate it. I don't like that. It's about how much money you got. It doesn't guarantee success, but it gives you a lot more poker chips to play with. Is having money, and they have just not been strong with the NIL and all the money stuff there. So that's what it's going to take, and whether they can get that commitment or not, we'll find out. But that carries into football and basketball for Charlotte, and it'll be interesting to see. That's not everything, because certainly the Pirates have made do with less than some, and then they've done a great job of getting people. The local folks out there have been really supportive with their funds, helping them as well. But it does take that, unfortunately, in today's college landscape, and I hate it. But they've got to pick up in that category. I know Coach Albin's also been, when he talks about injuries, he's also talked about they need more depth and more talented players, and you have to buy them to have them. Yeah,
no, you're right, and you're out there. Does that exist in that market? That ability? I mean, is there a white whale, or is there just? I mean, I know it's a fairly new program, but I mean, is there any path that would make sense, or is that maybe what the next AD will be tasked with trying to do?
Yeah, I think they should, because it's if people don't know, beyond NC State, it's got the biggest enrollment, so it's a bigger school, even though it's not got a big sports profile per se.
Right.
But they've got, obviously with that, a lot of alumni and sponsorship. You're in a pretty good sizable market, Charlotte, so you got surrounding who don't even necessarily have to be alums that could contribute for that. So it's there. I don't know if they've asked aggressively enough, or whatever the case may be. So I promise you, nobody likes losing, right? We all know what that looks like. So it's like, I think that it'll definitely happen this offseason, where they'll have an increase of some kind. What amount of support they'll get for that, we'll see. But I don't know about you guys, but like for me, like growing up, Ohio State and all that, I like when Michigan and Ohio State are good at the same time. And now, for that matter, Penn State, I think it's more fun. So, yeah, I want to win by 4 or 5 touchdowns this week. That'd be great. The most fun is competitive games that are rivalry games, because both teams have a chance to win. So I think it's good for everybody when teams within the conference are at least competitive, whether it's to this degree or not. But they're just really down right now.
Jim, I will respectfully disagree with you. I want like 65-0 this weekend.
I'm sure every coach is like, "Oh, what?" But just for the fun of it, I mean, that's why
I get what you're saying. But at least let us have this year to hopefully beat the brakes off of them, and then
there's something to be said for going to Lambeau and winning on a walk-off field goal. That's fun too. 65-0 would have been great against the Packers, but this was kind of fun.
Yeah, true. All right, I'd be happy with any win for the Pirates over that crowd. All right, Jim, we got to go. Pilk's going nuts. Thank you. We'll see you this weekend, I'm sure.
You got it. See you Saturday. Bye.
All right, there he is, the great Jim Szoke. We'll come back. We'll wrap up, get you set for tomorrow in the opening of Pirate basketball season.
This is about you, your family, and the health of all who live in Eastern North Carolina. This is about the transformation of a health system into something more powerful and more human, about creating new ways to treat disease and keep you well. This is about ECU Health, which is to say, it's really all about you. ECU Health. Minds, hearts, purpose.
You have a choice when you invest in insurance, and when you choose First State Insurance Advisors, you're working with people you can trust. Clark Stallings has deep ties in the community. His team, including Keaton Smith, Regina Asby, Phil Leyva, Max Joyner Jr., Max Joyner III, and Ginger Smith, provides knowledgeable and professional advice. First State Insurance Advisors is an independent insurance agency. They offer all types of personal insurance as well as various types for business. Call or email First State Insurance Advisors today. We want to be your trusted choice agency.
At Parker's Barbecue, our family has been serving your family for 3 generations.
For that, we say thank you.
Blessing families every Thursday. Kids eat free all day. That's the Parker's way.
Legendary food served from our 3 locations. Always quick, always delicious. That's the Parker's way.
At Parker's, our mission is to impact our customers through Christ-like service in a way that feeds them both physically and spiritually. That is the Parker's way.
Acre Station Meat Farm, along with Lane Angus Beef, bring you farm to fork beef.
Stock your freezers now with affordable beef boxes just in time for the grilling season.
Farm to fork beef brings quality local beef to your family. From your traditional butcher shop, Acre Station Meat Farm. Come on down to Acre Station Meat Farm and find out why we're #1 in fresh cuts and friendly service.
Acre Station Meat Farm, Highway 32 North, Pinetown.
Storm season is approaching. North Carolina weather can damage your roof, and before long, a small leak can turn into a big problem. Your home is one of your biggest investments, so protect it with Wells Home Improvements.
We work with all insurance companies for a hassle-free roof installation experience. Call us today and get 10% off your roof installation when you mention this commercial.
252-227-8403 or visit us online at wellshomeimprovements.com. Wells Home Improvements. Local. Honest.
And now, the stunning conclusion.
Why is everyone screaming?
On 94.3 The Game.
Right, okay. Thanks to Jim Szoke for being with us today. Stay tuned. We'll have Inside Pirate Athletics coming up with myself and with me, right? And also Coach Blake Harrell from Tiebreakers. We'll have some great Pirate players as well. So looking forward to that. It is an encore of the show, which was earlier today live on 94.3 The Game, but also recorded for the ECU Sports Network. Tomorrow, Jim Szoke will be back tonight. Panther Talk, 7 o'clock from Charlotte. So also here on 94.3 The Game. Tomorrow, Pirate basketball tips off, and we'll have coverage beginning at 5 o'clock right here with the PJ Show. I'll be out at Williams Arena Minges Coliseum for the pregame, and Chancellor Rogers will be with us at 6 o'clock tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Also, Darren Vaught, 6:30, airtime with the pregame show for ECU basketball on radio, and Sonny Sonhalder and I will have the game for you on ESPN Plus, or the ESPN app as they are referring to it now. All right, good stuff. Thank you, Pilk. Thank you, DeMarco. Thank you, Jim Szoke. We'll see everybody tomorrow. Have a great rest of your evening.